The founder of Alibaba, Jack Ma, once said, "Today is hard. Tomorrow will be worse, but the day after tomorrow will be sunshine." He then makes the profound final point. Most people give up at tomorrow. To achieve the unachievable, you need to do one thing and one thing only. Stay in the game for as long as you can. Contrary to popular wisdom about having a great attitude, a can-do spirit, and unstoppable passion, if you quit the game after a couple of setbacks, no amount of great attitude and passion will be adequate. In 1937, after many years of struggle, Walt Disney had made over 800 hours of animation and lost a fortune in the process. Many of his close friends tried to persuade him to give up. However, he insisted on continuing in the industry. Towards the end of 1937, on December 21st to be precise, Walt Disney released a movie called Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. It didn't just change the fortune of Walt Disney, but also the whole animation industry. There would be no Snow White, Cinderella, Sleeping Beauty, or Disneyland if Walt Disney had decided to call it quits in 1936. Staying in the game is a lot harder than you might imagine. When something sounds trivial, people tend to underestimate the difficulty of actually going through it. In a game, wins and losses are inevitable. They are simply an essential part of the game. Without them, the game is just a game that is not worth playing. Everyone can stay in the game for as long as we can possibly imagine if they are winning all the time. However, a game where you always win is not a game. It is a monopoly. Things can change drastically when you start losing in the game. In a business setting, CEOs respond to losses by laying people off. In the sports world, general managers fire head coaches or trade players. In a family scenario, married couples divorce and split their assets and custody of their children. The key to juggling is not about catching, it is about throwing. The key to staying in the game is not about winning, it is about losing. What you do after a loss is more important than what you do after a win. Most business leaders and professional athletes quit the game after repeated losses, not endless wins. In fact, you would be foolish to quit if you are winning game after game. When you are winning, the reasons are always similar: great team play, good spirit, and excellent communication. However, when you are losing, everyone has a unique perspective on why. For example, to this day, people are still debating the real cause of the 2008 recession. So how can we stay in the game for as long as possible? I have summarized my methodology into 4 simple and easy-to-understand points. Number 1, stop looking back too much. It hurts your neck, which is one of the most important body parts. That's why, in the old days, they didn't chop off your head, but your neck instead. Number 2, the only way forward is forward. If you stay behind, you are left behind. When you are behind, you are history. Number 3, be too busy to read and analyze your criticisms. Criticisms are like the smoke coming out of a smoker's mouth. It makes them feel good, but is really bad for you. Number 4, forget about retrospect. The solution will only work when A, B, C, and D are happening simultaneously. It is a pointless exercise, as the chance of that happening again is nearly 0. Now let's continue with our game.